Hey everyone, welcome back to another exciting episode of Attack Production. Today I'm Bancroft, being joined once again by Jake.
What's going on, y'all?
And we've been doing some late night Discord matches, Untapped matches. And I got a chance to finally build the new prison with the anniversary cards, which we don't actually have yet. So I asked Jake if he wanted to play. He said yes, and so we're kind of doing a throwdown. Like always, there's buttons down below. Feel free to click them. They're there for a reason. Let's get into it.
So, Bancroft, I've been playing King Cold on the channel for like 2 weeks, I guess, at this point now. And I feel like I've been featured a lot. So why don't we go into your strategy for this new prison build? I really like it. And I really like how it's positioned in the current meta.
So, I'm not sure if I've ever explained it before to you. Maybe I have. I don't keep up with any of the tournaments, what tops. Like, you guys all kind of go over like, hey, this top here, here's this list, here's that. I just go, I want to build this deck, I'm gonna build that deck. And I was trying to think, like, my old prison, the last prison I built, used the Broly chain. I'm like, but the problem with the Broly chain is that the 4, the 5, the 6, they all could be hit by any form of counterplay just fine, and that completely just shuts your turn down. And I'm thinking, let's go to Gogeta package this time. They can't be KO'd, and the 5-drop has Deflect. So I threw this together earlier, and I've been playing Prison day one. Like, I explained beforehand, like, everyone on our channel has, like, a key deck. I am the Prison player. And after I built this deck, I'm like, cool. And I'm using Deck Planet now. And I thought it was just funny. Deck Planet, immediately just shows you what was made today. I'm like, oh, you know what? This is a lot easier than Sharon's Lair was. Let me just type in this leader real quick. Oh, someone made a deck early. Oh my goodness, earlier today. And I looked at it. It was very close to the same build. I'm like, well, I knew someone else would get to it before I would. But so this is I feel like a more aggro or more pressure deck, and definitely deals a lot more in clearing the board like Prison wants to do. Now, you are more of a Magic player than I do. Isn't the concept of Magic, right? The Prison is someone who locks stuff down, right?
A prison player, or prison, the term prison comes from the Magic card Ghostly Prison, where every time you attack with a creature card, you have to pay 2 mana, I think it is. Maybe it's just 1. But either way, it's incredibly annoying, and it becomes nigh impossible to attack with big boards of creatures and still have mana to defend yourself. And the Frieza Prison deck kind of works differently because Dragon Ball's combat step is completely different. And really just says you don't get to go to the combo step, and if you do, you're going to have like 5k battle power. So enjoy comboing, my friend.
Yeah.
And it just locks its opponent really out of doing damage to it. And the weakness of Prison used to be that it was kind of difficult to kill your opponent once you got to the end game. But now with some of these new strategies you come up with, I was really impressed at that Prison can provide while still defending itself relatively easily.
Yeah, and you mentioned late game was kind of like the old school way of Prison, like trying to get to the 8-drop. Now, if your opponent plays a battle card, I think it's like, what, under 30,000 or something like that, you lose 4 life immediately. The problem was that card was just acceptable, and Prison got fizzled out. So I do like this take. Having the Gogetas, which cannot be KO'd, the 5-drop is a big old Deflect that negs the board by 15. The 6-drop has a 35 power, so it's kind of hard to neg that one out. Now, there are combos out there that can do it, and I think Red is one of the few ones that can actually neg that high up.
Yeah, and I didn't know exactly what the new King Cold super combo did. So, and here there was just a miscommunication, and I should have taken you putting your Unison in the drop area as a hint, because I see you're tapped up here, you're at 6 life. I feel like if I don't go for the triple strike right now, I might not ever get you in a range where I can kill you behind Topos and Violet Rays and After Image and counterplays and all of that Prison runs. I felt like this was really my best shot at getting some damage. And maybe I just should have pressured the unison and tried to play a longer game, or maybe I just should have went completely all out here and like comboed 6 cards to Overrealm and just go nuts. And maybe
that is kind of like the ideal strategy. If you can out aggro Prison's defense, do it. Like if you know you could get that kill, because like the leader doesn't reset any energy, and this is why I stopped playing Prison, because a lot of decks that turn 1, turn 2, turn 3 like aggro was just too much, and that's why I'm glad they brought the super combo out. So those who aren't familiar, that is I think the only card I've added from the anniversary box to this deck. I think it's the only card to add really for this deck. But your life has to be 3 or less, and if you combo with it, it's a limit 1, so you can only combo it once per turn. And once your combo step's over with and the battle's over, you remove that card from game. So it doesn't even go to your drop. You get to until the end of the turn, you could, for any extra card that's energy cost 3 or less, you reduce it by 1 red. So it pretty much makes almost any negate that Prison can have free.
That's almost like a Mecha Frieza style ability.
It's risky though, and I say it's risky because like if you tap out and you have to super combo, the problem is that you have to survive that combo step. So like if your opponent can go for a game and you chose to super combo a little too late, and you don't have enough combo power in your hand to survive the attack, you just lost. And that's why I kind of added the death balls back to the deck. So now it's another way of being able to use an activate battle card during my combo step to help kind of that extra push.
Oh, I think if you run that super combo, you have to run Frieza's Death Ball.
Yes.
They're just perfect for each other.
So here, because you forced me to awaken on turn 3, I was able to get a nice hand going on, because the leader search, the unison search, I draw 2 for awakening, and I draw an additional 1 for the leader. And here I'm just trying to swing at your unison to get rid of it, because I don't want you to have dormants available. I don't want you to potentially get enough markers on there and Capito Kai me and just take my extra, stuff and then just play another unison afterwards. But I think you expended a lot of Vegetas, didn't you, that turn? You charged 1, and didn't you bottom 1 as well?
Yeah, so there's only 1 left in my deck at this point. So it's going to be difficult for me to get another spirit boost.
Yeah. One of my favorite negates for this deck, and truth be told, I've kind of
overextended. Yeah, I kind of overextended with the Berry Blues as well, knowing that.
I think your previous turn you had I think you actually did say, "Can I see it?" I think you were looking for another unison just to have it ready.
Oh yeah, I did say I've seen 3 copies of Vegeta. Can I see 4? Because I was hoping to get it and then just have it to replace. Come to pass.
And here I'm just negating to clear board. But oh, that's right. Your battle card has an additional 5k boost.
Yeah, and since it's on all the time, like a static effect,
which is really nice. But you have to maintain 4 fill cards, right?
Yeah, I've gone back and forth on running 4 copies of that Terrified Realization, because I run the cooler the Anticipated Strike, I think it is, and these King Cold negates. They very often come down as 1 drop 20k. Most of the copies of Terrified Realization on the first are pretty dead, unless you pop them with your leader or like a Paragus the Sacrifice or something. And honestly, I've just been going back and forth between running 2 and 4 copies of this card, and against Prison, I really don't know what's better, because if they're 20Ks, Violet Rays hits them, and if they're 15s, then they die to Wolffang. So you're just kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't.
I mean, I think that's where you could swing of leader first in, And if they violent, but if they violent rate, yeah, that's tricky.
Yeah, tricky. Maybe you board a couple copies of these out in the best of 3.
Yeah. So I don't normally like doing the -2 on the frost, putting it at a low state, but because I saw so many Wolfang Fist, I felt like I was able to do that and keep it protected that way.
And just being able to play them over and over again for free is pretty huge.
Yeah. So here we go, going ahead and do this fusion. So when I was going through building the deck, and this is actually what made me think of Gogeta, I saw the Vegeta card beside the 5-drop Gogeta, and I'm like, oh, there is a 5-drop Vegeta BR. I wanted the Goku's 5-drop. Like, I never played that package before, the King Vegeta chain. So I forgot about, because I think that's what it's for, right? It was made for the King Vegeta Goku. Yeah. And
yeah,
luckily they're both BRs. I'm like, holy crap.
Yeah, and that really gives this Frieza Prison deck a tool set it honestly has no business having access to.
Oh, for sure. And it's more draws.
All the extra minusing is insane as well. Luckily, Golden Frieza comes through.
Dude, so, okay.
To remove this mountain.
I didn't swing because I was like, you got plenty of cards in your hand. I can't kill you this turn. I don't want to give you any extra resources in case it's something that could help you. I'm just going to pass without swinging this card. And I just regretted it when you played that Golden Frieza against me. I was like, man, because that bypasses it entirely.
Yeah. The Golden Frieza is place them in. So KO, it doesn't neg them out, it doesn't warp them. So it gets around, and it ignores barrier. So it gets around pretty much every effect in the game. At least that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
Other than, like, Indestructible.
And you ripped the Violent Ray out of my hand, too. Let's cover that real quick.
I was pretty happy about that. Unfortunately, I'm still pretty scared to keep swinging with this Frieza, because I'm afraid you'll, like, spark an after image and then death ball it or something after the battle. So I take a lot of the next, just trying to, like, hand, and every time it's just wild what happens. So stay tuned for the next couple turns.
So I want to cover real quick. We did forget one key thing here. The -15 does not stay
from Wolfang.
Yeah, from Wolfang, and we left it there, and that's where some of that concern was coming from. Like, if you swung with King Cole, there's a chance I could renege you again, and then get rid of that card entirely.
Yeah,
we didn't catch it this turn. I think we caught it in another turn, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think it's the next turn we notice it. Yeah, and I didn't swing beforehand, so I don't get to restand the Frieza since I've already used the activate main.
Well,
which is,
if you would have swung beforehand, you would have lost it though.
Yeah, you would have died. Yeah,
because I would have, I would have Wolfanged, and then I would have turned around and then done the auto for the 6-drop.
Yeah, the only thing that was really keeping me in this game is deck this Gogeta fusion things and these counterplay Vegetas that we see in your energy and stuff like that. So I'm pretty aware of the effects that your cards have. It's just trying to guess basically which ones you're holding on to.
Yeah. And it doesn't help that you see me pull 2 more Wolfang Fists to my hand.
No, honestly, that's the one I'm worried about the least at this point. Even though they're just so free.
Which is just crazy. Like, and that's what also made this like chain so much better, in my opinion. Because the Gogetas boost the unison, so I can turn around and then be able to do the -2 to regain all this stuff.
And that's so demoralizing too. And part of the reason I feel like I ignored the unisons in this matchup when maybe I shouldn't have is knowing at any point if I leave it on the table, you can just fuse and evolve and give it more markers, pretty much what I'm able to remove in a turn, and then get a huge.
You there?
Did I drop out?
You dropped out. Yeah, yeah.
Just, I don't know, cut in like bird noises or something.
Okay.
It's about as insightful as what I have to say.
Fair enough. So here's where we catch it, and then you went ahead and swing again, and you got rid of one of my Frieza Army cards, which actually hurts because the super combo is only Frieza Clan, so it does not work with the leader's free negate. So I just lost a free negate because you hit that card.
Interesting. Maybe I would have played things differently this turn had I known that that was the only Frieza's army in your hand.
Well, I mean, I do have 5 open energy, though.
It's a lot, yeah. But I'm trying to do what I can to navigate these waters.
And here we go with the counterplay, which is 3 energy, such a great card. But you go ahead, I think, and do the active main instead of swinging.
Yep.
And I think, yeah, you were able to, like, you ripped key cards every time you chose a card, which just hurt. Like, first was the Violent Ray, then it was the Frieza BR card. And then I think this one you hit one of my super combos, which, grant, I can only... The auto's only limited to one. So, sorry, I can't super combo more than once in a turn. The limit's only once.
Yeah. But, still great to rip a super combo.
Oh, yeah. That's a 10k combo power right there, man.
Yeah, especially when the hand control elements in this deck are so light. It's pretty lucky to hit key pieces like that. Here I'm just like going all out, using all of my fields, just trying to get in for every point of damage that I can, because I don't think I'm going to be able to survive another another series of turns against this prison deck. I kind of see the writing on the wall.
I will say, like, when you swung with the leader and you're comboing up, I'm like, I thought about super comboing and then doing the death ball. But I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna take it, and I have 2 open energy. I still technically have a free Wolfang Fist, and then potentially another free card afterwards using the super combo.
Oh, you had a Violent Rays and everything.
I got it from Alive Justin, yeah.
Yeah.
So this right here, you drop that. I'm like, for a moment, I'm like, dang it, I don't want to have to do this. And what happened there is, I think you said no combo, and you're like, hang on. And I kind of like got a little too excited. But
yeah, but it's okay. I was just considering comboing off that Frieza, but I decided to just.
So, dropping your units, and I'm tapped out. I got no more like free stuff in my hand because I've already used it all.
And here I'm just comboing everything I can. Unfortunately, it's not much, and I can only get to 30k. And he's still 20 from his Vegeta from earlier.
Yeah.
So he just needs to find 15, and as we can see his hand in this video, he's got it.
Yeah. And you were tapped out. At this rate, I don't think there's anything else you could play. But I was able at this point now to be able to use the Violent Ray for one last negate if you were able to do something.
Sitting on this game was a lot closer than it was, but seeing the cards you had in your hand, you really just... There were multiple ways you could have thwarted my attempts to take those last 3 life from you. It's like once you got awakened, you were almost just in full control.
So, this was a toughie for me. If you had a Dormant Potential in your hand, I don't know the chances of me successfully finishing this turn off or not. And so I eventually swing and go, okay, show it to me. And you're like, Homicidal Clones. I'm like, was not expecting that. Okay.
So I did have the Dormant, and here's the thing. If I play the Dormant first, I don't have any combo power, and I have to take the damage and go to 2. Then any kind of double strike kills me. If I do it in this order, and I, on your second attack, and block, there's a chance you only have a single strike remaining, and I walk out with 1 life. It's really the only way I live with this few cards in hand. And one of the cards in my hand is red and cannot be discarded to Dormant as well.
Oh, your double strike, yeah.
So that's part of the reason I clonesed, so I could try and get access to another green card.
And unfortunately with Fu, you cannot activate blocker.
Right, so that was just GG's.
Yeah. And truth be told, I grab the Death Ball as kind of as a fake almost. Like, I didn't have a super combo in my hand, but you didn't know that. So I'm like, cool, I'm gonna grab this, and then I guess I'll grab a Wolfang Fist, you know. Alright, I'll swing to lead, and you're like, yeah, you got it. Like, even if you were able to combo up to 30, not knowing what was in my hand, or 35, not knowing what was in my hand, there was still the risk of me having a super combo, and then immediately playing the Death Ball after that. So
yeah.
So
yeah. Good.
You broke up, but I think you said good game.
I did.
With that being said, thank you all for tuning in. Hope you all enjoyed today's matchup. I love that I could play Prison again and feel a little bit more safer than I used to. With that being said, maybe we'll see more Prison in the future. I don't know. Gen Con, I'm looking at you right now. Yeah. Fluff isn't here, so Jake, do you want to do the outro while there's stuff on the screen for them to click?
Yeah, there's videos on the screen. I haven't got to do this before, so click something, please. If you want to watch a video that I edited, go check out the Draftbox 4 opening.
It's on the screen, bro. Don't you see
it? Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. Click it. Just click it. Read your cards, know your plays, and fluff out.